Are we live?
We're live.
Are we live?
We're live right now.
Are we live?
Yeah.
I don't know if we are.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the MAViSMITH Podcast.
Number 1 on YouTube. Number 28 on Twitch.
Number 28 in total. 1 on YouTube, unless you're actually on a YouTube
Have you set a
videos.
timer for the camera?
No, but
Yeah.
I can see it, but I will set
Cool.
a timer.
Just in case we forget.
The reason we're streaming on YouTube today is because Twitch has shat itself, for lack of better terms.
Yeah, Twitch died.
Basically, the Twitch stream key isn't working right now. So we have had to go live on YouTube, which is fine. We didn't like to stream on YouTube because the people that subscribe on the YouTube Live don't subscribe to your actual YouTube channel, and we didn't really have any interest in building a YouTube Live thing. But they've changed that apparently.
Yes, well, it looks like they have, because they got loads of backlash because people were like, why would I subscribe to a live show when I want to subscribe to the channel? Because that's what I was watching a Call of Duty. I was watching a guy play Call of Duty, and it was like he was getting nukes and he was playing it in 2018, and he had like 300,000 people watching, and like he had all these people watching and they were all subscribing, and I was like, this can't be, because there was so many people subscribing, right? And I was like, this can't be real. And then I looked, and yeah, it wasn't. It was people were subscribing. So as usual, this is our 28th podcast. We'll be talking about movies, games. It's going to be a shorter one because we were ready at about 5:30, but then Twitch decided to hiccup, and we struggled with that. So I've got loads of topics and stories, but I'm gonna cut some of them out, and we'll talk about them next week. We've got an app to try it next week, which is amazing.
Are we going to try that live?
Yeah,
That'd be so funny.
Yeah.
Oh my
yeah.
God,
I'm not going to tell you guys what it is, but I'm telling you now, it's amazing. But yeah, we're not sponsored, but we're sponsored, but not sponsored by Mr. Kipling's Battenbergs today. Lovely. Oh, do you know I made a Battenberg cake once? You know, I made a Battenberg cake. I don't have any pictures, so you have to just believe me. But I actually made a Battenberg cake.
Right.
It wasn't very nice, but I made one.
Okay.
So yeah. But yeah, so just to apologise one last time. Yeah, sorry, we are streaming on YouTube. We have no bots, so please be nice.
It's a shame you can't host your own YouTube channel through Twitch now. That'd be good. That'd be good when Twitch doesn't work, like right now, it's really annoyed me.
When you stream DDLC, you're gonna have to have a topic for next week.
I'll tell you about DDLC. Is basically they've asked us to play a game called DDLC, which is a really strange like anime game. And no, not allowed to look it up. Apparently,
I'm not. I'm looking at.
Apparently, we have to be shocked by it.
Did you hear about the explosion today?
Yesterday, wasn't it? In Northampton.
Today, 7 hours ago. Oh no, 14 hours ago in Leicester. Yeah,
Yeah.
sorry. One of our viewers just said. Okay, so it looks quite bad. He said, "You're going to talk about the shop explosion, pictures, or it didn't happen." But what he means by that is pictures of my Battenberg cake where it didn't happen. Yeah, we'll talk about the shop explosion in a minute. We got a couple of. You have defeated my gambling problem. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. Anyway, let's go on to podcast. I'm Matt.
I'm George.
And we're going to be entertaining you for the next hour and 15 minutes because we're on a tight schedule because I've got night shift. And I don't want to... Oh my God, it's the most cringy story, right, on night shift last night. So I'm doing like Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday of night shift this week, maybe Friday, I'm not too sure yet. So I've got a long-ass week. And yesterday, I rocked up to night shift, felt fresh as hell, walked inside, I was like, it's going to be a good one. Normally, I normally only work Sunday, Monday. So that means that come Monday, come Sunday night, I've only got one night left. So
Right.
I kind of, I've only got one night left. So I'm like, cool. Are you listening to what I'm saying?
I am. You've got one
good
night
stuff.
left. So I'm just checking audio. The other thing, did you change? Is there like because we don't stream to YouTube? Is there like a? Oh wait, that stopped all of a sudden, randomly.
Oh no, is it overheating?
I sure hope not.
Is the radiator on?
It sure is.
Should we turn off with it?
You might have to. I don't know why it stopped. I just noticed.
Is it
down the bottom?
Yeah, but what way do I turn it?
So it's full on. So just whatever way you can't is the off right way. There we go.
This boy has got his radiator on full bleach.
Did you
Full
see
bleached?
Full bleached.
Full blast.
Did you see the snow today?
Dude. Oh my God. So I was going to talk about my cringy thing, but just first of all, I was driving home this morning. I fucking feel like we're about to drop a fucking mixtape on our camera by how wide it is.
Oh, what the hell?
It's all right. We'll just take it from this, and then we'll have to just work out what the fuck happened. I think you've just got to move.
Keep going. Oh, it's because it. Oh, that's why it stopped because the sensor's messed up.
Yeah, and it's fine. But everything's a work in progress. We're on podcast 28, but it looks like we're on podcast number 2 because of how.
It's we're over halfway through the. No, we're basically bang on halfway through
Yeah.
a year.
Oh, happy half year podcasting, bro.
We'll have to celebrate it next week because we just realised.
Yeah. We'll just add. We'll do 2 podcasts in December, and we'll make it so there's 53. We can say that we can celebrate next week. So yeah. So so as I was saying, so I was driving back from night shift this morning, and it takes me an hour to get home. It's because of the traffic. It's horrible. So on the way home, everyone was on Instagram and all that saying, "Oh my god, it's bad snow everywhere." Blah blah blah. I had pure sunlight. I had like direct sunlight. There was blue skies. There was not a cloud in sight apart from right in the distance. Absolutely barbaric. Do you want to turn that off if you're not going to use the camera? Just to because we can't really use it. I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
In before all the mic falls off. It's an earthquake. I can't get to the power button, but no was. So I was driving home, and there was sun there was sun all around me, and everyone was moaning about how there's this heavy snow. I was in Brentwood where I live, and everyone else lives around me on Instagram, posting stuff about goddamn, snow and stuff, and then there I was. Just chilling out in sun. I felt like I was in Madagascar, and everyone else was in, Siberia and Russia.
Okay.
Anyway, back to my previous topic. So I was like, you know what? I've been in yesterday, felt fresh, went in, it's going to be a good shift. I was a little bit bummed out because I was like, I've still got, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, maybe Friday. I still got 4 nights left.
It's a long week.
So I said, you know what? I'll go in now. It's a long week. I was like, you know what? I'll go in now. I feel good. I felt good. Literally, I did my aisle that takes me about 4 hours in about an hour and a half. Whizzed through it. I felt energetic. I had no one to message. I was a loner, just doing his yogurts. Did it all.
Doing his yogurts.
Yeah, doing his yogurts and fresh cream. Did it all, and then we went to and then I went over to produce, right? And there's a girl, bless her, she's the nicest girl. We have this thing called online shopping, so people.
Wait, you have a thing called online shopping?
I've
never heard of this.
No,
please tell me more.
No, but you don't understand how it works. So how it goes is people come in the morning. You order like last night or this morning or whatever. People come in at like 4 o'clock, taking all the orders, put it into a box, and then they get it out so it's ready for you. That's how they get it ready. People come in, right? There's a girl, bless her. She's the nicest girl ever. She's always smiling, always saying hi, but she's got something wrong with her leg, so she like limps, kind of thing.
Right.
And one of the guys, he's so nice. He just didn't. It went straight over his head what he said. He went, "Oh, you need a heel on one foot." Oh my god! And I was putting up salad packs, and I just dropped all my salad packs. I dropped rocket salad all over the ground. I was rolling, and I had to go. I was like, like when you're trying not to laugh, and you're like, my eyes were crying. I was like bleeding. Blood was coming out my eyes. I was trying not to laugh, and I walked round the other side of the aisle, and I just lost my shit. And Ashley and I were just crying. And I felt so bad, and then we could hear him trying to solve it, and he was going, "Oh, I didn't mean like that. Just as a joke. Sorry, it's been a long night, and it was only 3 o'clock." Oh, it was so. And I don't get cringed out, and I felt like I had said it. I felt horrible. Yeah. Just to reiterate, in case anyone didn't hear us at the beginning, we are streaming on YouTube because Twitch passed away 2002 to 2018. We are on YouTube, but we should be back on Twitch next week. Maybe YouTube as well. We don't know. So yeah. Of course, we're going to be talking about stuff, and then if you guys have any opinions in the chat, tell us, and then we'll refer it in the podcast just to keep it different to the podcast listeners as well, which you can catch on Apple iTunes podcast. It's a great listen, in my honest opinion. I watch it back on my night shift. I find it a great laugh.
I go back to make sure we haven't screwed anything up or made.
I just watch it for entertainment, man.
Yeah,
and yeah, so cool. So have you got any funny stories happen this week at all?
Nothing funny that I can think of top of my head. I haven't really written anything down this week for topic wise, but I think we should probably talk about the old explosion. Oh,
Yeah.
but no, there's loads. What was we going to talk about?
I've got loads of topics,
No,
man.
there's so many
I've
things.
got
What was
so
the thing
many.
we were saying? Let's save it for the podcast. We were talking
About you were talking to Clayman about trans, I think, transgender.
no, because we spoke about that, the gender thing. It's something
I
else.
think it was.
Clayman, what were we talking to you about? Sorry for any audio listeners. I'm just
Ali
going through the
said
chat
talking
quickly.
about he, she, or cough.
Oh,
That
yeah,
was it.
yeah,
That was
yeah.
it.
So, should we touch on that quickly?
Go for it. I was so tired so we did a stream on Saturday night. I had to leave early because I was so I was exhausted. So GFA carried on the stream and like GFA was talking for like, you know, however long, and yeah, GFA was talking for however long, and I was just zoning in and out. I literally like what was you playing at the end? What was you playing at the end before Modern Warfare?
We
Just a
played
Jackbox.
Jackbox.
Jackbox. I was passing out. I was sitting there like, and Civic Doodle, all courtesy of, you know, of Mel. So you know, so yeah, go ahead, dude. You talk about.
So we were talking on Saturday about transgenders and all the different, you know, everyone's saying there's like loads and loads of genders, all that shite. And we were talking about genuinely, without trying to sound offensive, because obviously we don't want to be offensive to anyone that feels that way. But we have, so you refer to someone as he or you refer to someone as she. But what do you call someone that's neither or both, or however they want to establish themselves? And what I mean by that is, if you're talking about someone, or what's the proper pronoun there? Because if you're like, oh yeah, he went down the shop or she went down the shop, do you have to say they went down the shop, which is fine? But then if they want to fight for equality and say that everyone should be equal and we shouldn't be discriminated against, then we should have a word for them. So in that case, is there a word that's going to be made for people that are of that, that gender, of transgender? Because you can't say he or she, and if you don't want to be you don't want to be offensive. It's the same with like sir or madam. If someone walks in, you can't go hello sir, hello madam. You can't go hello hello
Yeah.
you. You know what I mean? So like, I think if this is actually going to be a thing and going to take off, and people are going to start having to cater for transgenders, then there has to be new words invented, or at least words that are used for those situations. So sir, madam, madam, and her, he, she. A good thing one of our viewers said is just cough when you say it if you're not sure. So oh yeah, he just went down the shop, that kind of thing. But I don't know
Yeah.
if that's really the way to get around it.
Yeah. I mean, like, that's the thing. That's what I was gonna say. The Jordan Peterson, who I talk about a lot, and I actually hold him at a high regard purely for the fact that he argues his point and he knows what he says and he stands by it. He doesn't. He's stubborn enough to argue his point, but normally his point is always right. And he's really good at wording things and getting it, and it's quite nice to kind of see that, where people were like, people. I'm gonna say it. People are pussies in this like era. Like, people honestly get offended over everything, and he says what's on his mind, and we need more people like that. Yeah, we need more people like that. I don't get along with liars. I don't get along with people that don't mean what they say. And if I say something to you, I mean it. Obviously, I joke 95% of the time, but normally whatever I say, I mean it. But he said
5% of the time, then
5% of the time. 5% of the time, all the time. So Jordan Peterson got in trouble, and it was a big thing because he refused to call a transgender by the pronoun, which I can't remember what the pronoun is, and he refused to do it because he was like, if I look at you, you're a he. You could be a she.
Or am I?
Trust me. so
Or am I?
yeah. Like, I don't know, like, if you want to be male or female, that is fine. You got to be one of them. You can't be non-binary. You are one of the two, because it's easier for
I mean,
people
biologically,
to.
you are one of the two. That's a fact.
And
at the end of the day.
and like just because it makes it easier for everyone else. No, and what I said on the podcast, what I said on the stream, and I said was how I feel about it. We can't even get over the fact that there are people of different color and different race. How the fuck are we going to be able to know about how the fuck are we going to be able to go like, oh, that person's whatever the pronouns are. You know, we can't even get over race and color, let
The
alone
thing is, when it was like transgender, you can kind of go, well, I can kind of get on with people saying they want to have their own thing. At the end of the day,
Yeah.
there's male and female. That is it. There's no way around it. Biologically, you're a man, or it comes down to chromosomes X, Y, X, X. That's it. There's so many. We've spoke about this many times on the podcast, and I don't think we have to go into it again. But there's two. But if you want to identify as whatever you want, that's fine. At the end of the day, that's fine. But don't expect everyone to cater for you because they
Yeah.
shouldn't have to. People are starting to think that their opinion is more important than the fact, and it simply isn't. And at the end of the day, they are more accurate than fact. And yeah, I mean, sure, if you want to identify as whatever, just don't expect people don't force that upon other people
yeah,
because then you're the one in the wrong, not them. At the end of the day, so yeah, I mean, and it's going too far. There's people that are permanently tattooing their faces like with whiskers and stuff, and saying I'm identifying as a cat and live in litter boxes and put a shit in litter boxes and live in little cat
Yeah.
beds and stuff. And I'm going, well, at this point, you're not trying to identify as anything. You're mad. You're insane. But if that's how you want to live your life, fine. But don't come up to me in the street, start stroking my leg, and go, "I'm a cat, meow," because I'll kick you in the forehead, right?
Yeah.
And don't go
But the
discriminate against
question
me.
comes down to sexual predators as well. So say for example, on this podcast right now, I turn around and go, I identify as a female. I go to work tonight. I go to Sainsbury's, and there is a large handful of girls that work there. There's more girls than boys. I walk into the girls' bathroom. I am more than right in some people's eyes to do that, even
Which is
though
messed up, yeah.
I am not, and that doing that would class me as a sexual predator, even though everyone just assumes, oh, because he thinks he's a female. One of our viewers, Mel, just said, "I don't agree with that. You should not get over one thing because we struggle with another. We can tackle more than one problem at once." My issue is not that we can't tackle the problem. My issue is that we just can't get over it, and it's been however many years. It's been I don't know how many years, but it's been, I would say, happily over.
What do you mean? Since what? Since what?
Since the racism has been started picking up massively.
Well,
It started kind of with the OJ cases when it started taking real. Everything started conforming to.
well, racism has always been bad.
Yeah,
but I mean, especially like slavery in the 1800s, and then
but
obviously
like when it started coming
Lincoln abolished it. Well, yeah, but you had like lynchings and shit like that until like the 60s, and especially in Southern America. And Southern America is still, in my opinion, and from what I can read online, which I know you can't trust everything you read online, of course, but from sources that I've read, it's still like one of the most racist places in the world is South America still, or the southern states like Texas and whatever, because they haven't sort of caught up with. I mean, who cares? It's the color of your skin.
Yeah,
you have the same organs. You have a heart. You have lungs. You have liver. We're all made of the same stuff. We have brains. Everyone is the same. Everyone has their own opinions, and that's fine. But bloody hell, it's like there's so much more in life to worry about than what color someone is. It's so ridiculous that people are hung up on that, and so like
well, the
so
issue
racist. It's stupid. It's a stupid thing.
the issue we have, the older, like my nan and granddad, racist. My other nan and granddad, both racist. But that's just how they were brought up. So, and it's a shame because
it's like religion. People brought up in religion,
I'm against racism, and I've really put my foot down because I feel like we take a lot from their culture. So my first argument to whoever says, who I get people make racist jokes, and that's fine if you want to do that, but just you've got to understand that it is going to affect people. So you've got to be, and you can't stop people from saying what they want. That's the issue we have. But the older generation are racist because they were brought up like that. And if I sit there and I said to my, I brought it up with my nan and granddad once and said like, that's very racist. And they said, well, that's just how I see it. And unfortunately, once it's going to sound really harsh, once we get the older generation out of the way, we get the newer generation, they're going to be coming in, and racism will not be much in about 20 years. Racism, I don't think, will be a thing. Because the newer generations coming, no, but it's not going to be as big as it is now. If you look at every older person is got something in them. Especially when you look at America, it's just absolutely insane. I was talking to someone at my work, or my tour work. She was from Texas, and her mum and dad are horrendously racist, and and horrendously racist. And she was like, she's married to a guy who is black, and they're racist to him. and she refuses to go around there. But she went, but we're over it. You know, they won't get over it. So once we get the older generation out, but again, my issue is not with having one problem, we can't get over this. My problem is that it's taken so many years to get over racism. Well, we're not even over it yet. We're at the top of the mountain. We're only halfway up. So we can't get over that. And if we can't get over color, how the fuck are we going to get over calling someone right? Is it pronounced Z and Z? Is that how it is pronounced? So do I have to go up to someone and go, oh yeah, so Zelf over there, you know? Yeah. But for video viewers, quickly, we do have new merch. That's why I've got a hat now. I've got a fucking hat. I'm so excited. I have a hat.
We're playing around with new merch because at some point, if we can sort of do merchandise, we obviously would love to sort of like spread the love and get the cheapest possible deals out to people and sell majority of the stuff at face value, because that's what we're not about. You know, we're not here to try and extort people, but we like the idea of spreading the brand around and people having nice looking stuff. So we've got this from a website. Again, it's nothing special. It's just a cool little design. And we also got sort of like a Roadman black on black one, which is this one, which has like a little logo on it, which is MIS from MAViSMITH, not multiple sclerosis, whatever it is, or
What's
not
that say?
Marks and Spencers. And it just looks pretty cool.
But the only issue I have is I have a massive head. Like, my head is huge.
That one's already on your. That one's the one you stretched earlier.
But even this doesn't really fit me.
Oh
very
yeah,
well.
but I've ordered small because.
Oh, well, that's a fucking problem. See, this just about fits me, and look, it's hanging on the last fucking thread as well, and it only just fits my head. I've got such a big head, and such a small brain.
Whereas I am on like the one from last because
how big my head is.
Because it's the hair, you know, it just sort of fits in there and all that.
Any final thoughts before we move on?
Yeah, I just think as I said, we all made the same stuff. It's the same as like with aliens, right? So right, so before I go into that, right, with
Are you
religion,
comparing trans to aliens?
No. So you have
exposed.
you have religion, which in the way that, especially in America, people are brought up. If their parents say God is real to their kid, when their brain is a sponge, they'll grow up believing that. Same as about Santa, and same as about the Tooth Fairy, and all that stuff. As kids, that's what you're told to believe as this fantasy to make you excited for things. Religion's the same. It gives you faith. It gives you hope in times of, you know, I think it was Durkheim. No, it wasn't Durkheim. It was Chris Webber, a sociologist, said, not Chris Webber, whatever his name, Max Weber, whatever his fucking name was. He said you turn to religion in 3 times: hatching, matching, dispatching, which is birth, marriage, and death. So when you're dying, you're scared. When you're married, everyone gets married. Even non-religious people get married in a church with the dresses and the vows and all that shit. Most anyway. So as in like most people that are sort of not religious. Funnily enough, people that are not religious still get married the sort of Christian Catholic way. They don't get married the Jewish way or the Muslim way. Do you know? It's kind of strange that. But anyway, so with religion, you have that. If your parents tell you it's real, then you believe it until you're old enough to make your own decision, and then then if it's ingrained in you, you believe that. But once you're intelligent enough to understand it, you make your own choice if you want to keep believing in it, or you read science books and you realise it's bullshit. Anyway, so it's the same for me with racism, and I think, as you said, as the generations die out, it won't be as bad as a thing because everyone's becoming more educated and understanding that we're made of the same stuff. Oh no, he's a human being, she's a human being. Z or whatever the bloody trans one was is a human being. We're all human beings. We're all made of the same stuff.
Z, Zer, and the self.
Yeah, exactly. Why does it matter what colour he is or she is or I am or they are? It doesn't matter. Everyone should come together and try and. There's so that we should. Everyone's got to fight things like cancer. We've got to fight things like the environment. We've got, people want to get off this planet. Like, look at the space program. Like, take some inspiration from that. But what I was going to say, my original point is, if aliens landed, I think racism would turn to them. You've seen District 9?
Yeah.
I don't think that's far-fetched. I think humans are so, especially with Trump in power, humans are so incompetent like that. I genuinely think if aliens landed and that kind of stuff happened, people wouldn't be excited like we would be. Like, oh, aliens! Like we're making outreaches. We're learning that our minds would be blown with all this new whatever we found out about that. People would be like, oh no, they can't land here because they're aliens, and you filthy aliens can't take our jobs, and let's build a wall between us and the aliens. It's crazy to think that. That's
it's just
it's
just knowing what we don't. It's what we don't know that scares us. So and that, in my opinion, is what was probably one of the first things that people thought when slavery became a thing. That's probably what they thought. They probably thought, we don't know we don't know who they are or what they are, which is a very horrible thing to say. And thought, you know what, let's whatever. And then if aliens were to come down, it'd be the exact same thing. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's
Can't get my head around that period. Like you think about that time period where people would take another human being and treat them like that, and I just cannot understand in any part of my brain how a human being with a brain thought that was right or acceptable, or I can't understand it.
If aliens landed, what would the what would the derogatory saying term be for the aliens?
Weird
hell.
I guess it depends, like what they look like, I suppose, isn't it? Because if it's a typical drawing of the big eyes, it might be like, oh, look at you, big head or big eyes or some shit. I don't know, but it's. I think again, it's one of those things. It's. I think the humans are so stupid that would happen.
Can you get Alexa to turn off that light behind you?
What is it? Alexa, turn off table light.
Okay.
Thanks.
There we go.
Technology. Don't you? They hate us because they ain't us. If aliens came, they would want to take Elon Musk back home because Elon Musk is an alien. I like that. All right, let's get on to my first topic. I've got a long list of topics. My first topic. So the school shooting that happened in Florida. Have you seen what they're thinking of doing to combat school shootings?
Trump said ban schools, right?
Apart from banning schools, you know what they're doing?
No, I didn't. Yeah.
The most stupidest. And I would always say, I'm not gonna lie, I'll be completely honest, completely transparent with you guys. Up until Trump was elected, I was saying, you know what, he's just doing it for the vote. He's not going to be like he is. And every time, I was
guess because I don't want it. Sorry, sorry.
Yeah, no, I'll let you guess in a second. So up until he was elected, I was like, he's just being an idiot for the camera. He just wants to become president, and then he's going to tone it down. And people in his camp were saying, camp is a term for his group, were saying like, oh yeah, he's only doing it to get presidency. Then he just starts going ahead and starts doing all the stupid shit that he said, and then I was like, well, I can't defend you. If you carry on being stupid, that's GFA's alarm to wake up in the morning.
Yeah.
No, so and I was like, if you keep doing stupid things, then I can't help you. And so then we had that issue. So yeah, he saw the school shooting. What do you reckon his
Right, this is my guess. Now, I know that, but last time when Obama was still in power, he said that teachers would be armed with guns, which I think is fine. Or some teachers would be trained in armed guns. I'm guessing, and this is complete. I don't know what the outcome is. My guess is he's now saying that there will be guns encased in breakable glass, like fire axes in emergencies.
Kind of close. There was
school armory.
Kind of close. They're going to be arming teachers.
I swear that already happened though.
No.
Last time that was talked about last time.
It was talked about, but it was dropped straight away because I think it was Obama that said like it's too much of a risk.
Well, yeah, because no schools in our days now. Imagine like a little year 7 going, "Fuck you, Nick."
Right.
That's how kids they take you. If I was a teacher, I would reach the end of my tether and be like, "All right."
So I was listening to the H3 podcast, and they were making me die because they were saying a story about when they were at school. When they were at school, they had a substitute teacher that came in. She was teaching a class, and she got a phone call. So she answers a phone call, and her dad passed away. Her dad passed away while she was teaching. So she started crying, and then got another phone call. Right, the next phone call was her brother had a heart attack watching her dad die and died as well. So, and then. This is just humanity. Someone threw a bit of chewing gum at her and got stuck in her hair. She went absolute mental, started jumping on the table, said she's going to kill herself and stormed out. Imagine if she's got a gun and she loses her shit. And some people are wired that way that if something happens, unfortunately, because of the world, people might lose their shit. And first of all, that's bad. That is horrible. But second of all, like if she had a gun, what the fuck? Like I've got so many. I could sit here for 3 hours of a podcast and just say school stories about me in school because Rob and I were little shits and we would literally fuck around and piss our teachers off. We got our teacher to storm out crying. Like we were like our class was horrible. If they had guns, what the hell? And they were saying that they're going to be hiring teachers if they got more of a chance if they're skilled in
Marksman.
in marksmanship. So imagine you're working at a gun range and someone comes in and goes, "Oh, yeah," and then they go like this with a gun. They're like, have you done this before? No, I'm just training to be a mathematician. And I thought it was crazy. And just another thing, fuck, what was I going to say? I just find it incredible that kids are actually being. I saw it in an interview. They're actually being rehearsed if a school shooting happens. Like when I went
That's a good thing, though.
yeah, but like when it's a good thing. But when I went to
It
school,
shouldn't have to happen.
when I went to school, the only issue I had was that I don't know. I didn't want to go to class. Like that. That was as big as my issues went. Imagine imagine having to do a drill.
They're going to be doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is absolutely, and being that young, and there was a girl that was crying. I saw it on Facebook because Facebook's full of this shit. It's probably not true, but Facebook, a girl was crying to her mum saying she wanted Velcro shoes because if there's a school shooting, she didn't want to run away without laces on. And that is a horrible thing to like a kid to think of, that she don't want to wear laces, and she cried about getting the wrong pair of shoes because she wanted Velcros because she didn't want to run away. And like if a like 18-year-old said that, you'd be like, "Oh, grow the fuck up." But like because like she was young as well, she was in like like preschool.
Yeah.
That is tough shit, and it's horrendous to think about. But what do you think about arming teachers? What's your kind of view on it?
As you said, I think Jim Jeffries said it quite well as well when they talk about giving the teacher a gun is there's two evils there, right? So I think in some ways, brilliant. It's more protection for schools. They need it, obviously, but is that the way forward? Because as you said, have a bad day. It's even going to be a little, or it's going to be like. So there's going to be either someone's going to die if a teacher loses their shit. Obviously not all the time. There's a lot of teachers out there that wouldn't even think about going for a weapon. Of course they wouldn't. I mean, 99% wouldn't. Let's be honest. They're
well, that's the thing.
But if you're having a bad day and you genuinely don't care about your life, and that happens to many people, teachers especially, because they're the kind of people that deal with a lot of shit with kids and don't necessarily get paid that well.
Yeah,
they may not even care.
It takes a few bad things in one day.
So I don't know necessarily if it would be a good idea.
Right.
However,
before you carry on, just let me paint a scene for you. So you're a teacher. No, sorry. You're a student. Wait, first of all, I forgot to say this. During the shooting, one of the security guards on campus ran and hid. He had a gun and he ran and hid. He's a trained security guard who had a gun and is trained to use that gun and ran and hid. So that's one thing. The second thing, imagine there's a school shooting going on, right? You're a teacher, you've got a gun, you're not that well trained with it. The fuck are you gonna do? Are you gonna accidentally shoot one of the kids trying to kill the shooter? I can picture the headline of a poor teacher being told he's got to defend his kids. He goes to and accidentally in the crossfire, obviously everyone's running around, shoots a kid by accident. I can just see the headline come in.
Yeah, or teacher leaves safe open, kid gets gun, whatever. But it's a better option, really. Outfit all the school. Look, you've got a country where you're allowing weapons. You allow the purchase and use of weapons in your country. Not in all states, but most of them. You're in that country. Well, I'm sorry, you're going to have to pay more money to get protection, right?
Yeah.
So why not put big security doors on every classroom? Make classrooms like not blast proof, but make classrooms give every single classroom in America. It's going to cost a lot of money. Well, that's your problem for allowing guns to be about. I'm sorry, that's your problem. It's your.
They should put all the tax money from that into defending.
Why not build every classroom with like not blast doors, but like doors that can lock from the inside and deadbolt, like big metal shutters? I know it won't look nice, but I'm sorry, you've got a country where you do that. You can't worry about how it looks or how much it costs. You have to worry about what's safe. You've made your country that way. It's your fucking.
The issue is, it is legal to be any age and buy from a private dealer.
Yeah,
it is completely legal. Why you've got AR-15s? Why that's not a hunting rifle? You don't go hunting with it. That's full. He killed something like 17. Someone killed 17 people in about 10 seconds. It is insane.
I'm not going to argue what guns should and shouldn't be legal because I think there's so many things you can say about that subject, and we could talk about that for hours. But yeah, I mean, I do think making classrooms safer would be a better option than arming the teachers. If hear a gunshot, right, blast door, and the door goes down, all the windows locked, the kids are safe in the classroom. He can't get through the walls, or, if it's whatever, unless it's drywall, I suppose. But can't get through the walls, can't get through the door windows. The kids are relatively safe, or a lot safer. If he sees a locked metal shutter, he's not going to try and break into there. He'll just keep walking down the hallway, rather than giving a teacher a gun and letting them wildly go after them. sorry, but that's your own country. That's your own fuck up for having that law and having that whatever Second Amendment, whatever it is that was an amendment made when they had muskets and not semi-automatic AR-15s, whatever.
Yeah.
That's your decision to keep that law and keep that freedom to allow people to own guns, which I agree with. At the end of the day, if that's what they want to do, that's what they want to do. But then you're going to have to bite the bullet. Sorry to use that as a pun, and fucking secure your classrooms and put the money in to do it properly. Because there's no kid should fear going to school any age and have that fear of someone's going to go crazy and shoot. It's happened too many bloody times. No one in any country should have fear of going out and doing a, going about their life in whatever way they want,
Yeah.
and have that fear of I could get shot tomorrow. It's
Crazy.
horrible. It's disgusting. They have to sort it out. But giving the teachers a gun, I'm sorry, is not a solution.
No, they should employ 2 people on campus with guns to walk around and patrol.
At least that's what I mean.
Yeah, that's like minimum.
Chuck money at your schooling system. Don't let them have to pay for it. You want guns in your country. You want to keep that law and that amendment. But you chuck money at it, then you.
I think it does all come down as well to like mental health, and we spoke about this before. And we should move on because we spoke about gun laws last podcast, and we speak about.
Yeah.
I feel like, and it sucks. I feel like we speak about mental health every fucking podcast. That's the thing that needs to get solved. Not this on this, but the kid had I don't know the full story, but the kid had a really had a really bad upbringing. He had a really bad childhood. His mum and dad both committed suicide. So he was obviously, that's tough for a kid, but letting them have a gun, I'm sorry, but if you've had that happen to you, you've got to be double checked, triple checked. But again, that doesn't help the fact that he can just go to because it just didn't work like that. So anything else to kind of touch on there? I feel like we should move on because we spoke about gun laws last time as well. Okay, so that's our thought on gun laws. Let me delete that. So this is something that Chris Rock said. I kind of want to see what you think in his new Netflix special. Have you watched it?
No.
Quite weird. Not as funny as I thought.
I never really found him that funny.
It wasn't as funny.
He did a film he was quite funny in.
Rush Hour.
Rush Hour.
Rush Hour was coming out. There's a new one, coming out. Do you want a Battenberg yet?
Yeah, go on.
There you go, bro. There's a new one coming out. Anyway, he said in his new Netflix special, only women, children, and dogs get loved unconditionally. A man is only loved under the condition he provides something. I just want to know, what do you reckon? True or false? First of all, true or false? What do you reckon? Oh. Welcome to the MAViSMITH Food Show.
ASMR. Go back 20, 30 years, 100% agree. Nowadays, a lot of, the wage gap's closing. Women have, a lot, I know there's still a problem with equal rights and equal pay and all that, but women are up there. A lot of women are a lot more successful than a lot of men, earning good money. A lot of women are becoming the breadwinners in family, so therefore the men are staying at home with the kids for the beginning and taking maternity leave.
Yeah.
I think that idea of women are only with men for money is very, very rapidly closing.
Yeah.
Because we're getting equal rights. So, you're finding women in really high roles and high powers. I mean, like, Theresa May is a good example of the recent politics. I know we had, obviously we had, what's her name before? Bloody female Prime Minister, Falklands.
Fucking, I can't remember her name.
Margaret Thatcher.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you just look at that and you look at the head executive of like Fox or all these different companies. A lot of them are women now. Women directors with Wonder Woman. There's things that happen in the world where that wage gap closing. So I think that idea of the man being the breadwinner, nuclear family, all that stuff, that is very quickly becoming something of the past, which is a good thing because it means that it's a good thing because I always feel like if you go on a date, chivalry. Everyone's saying chivalry's dead. Well, chivalry is dying because feminism is killing chivalry. So make your mind up. There's either chivalry or there's not. That's it. At the end of the day, either the man pays for the date or he doesn't. If you want equal rights, then you should split it 50-50 if you both earn good money. So there's that line of feminism where they say, well, I want to have complete equal pay, equal rights, everything like that, which I can 100% agree with. They should have everything equal because as again, we're all humans. We all have the same internal organs, whatever. But don't then complain when there's things like chivalry are no longer part of that general society and you're not treated more like a woman. And you have that time a feminist goes, oh, I want equal rights. And then someone doesn't give their seat up for them on the bus. They're like, you should be giving your seat up to me. I'm a woman. And you're just like, make your fucking mind up. What do you want?
Yeah.
What do you want here? So that's my opinion of
that. Yeah, I completely agree. I mean, I could 100% agree with what you said. It was the same. It was that years ago, and something that I find that the most attractive thing in a girl for me, or woman, sorry, or a female, or whatever the fuck you want to be called, is someone that's got like a goal. Because obviously
Ambition.
I'm hungry for, like,
I'm fucking Battenberg's there, mate.
no, I'm just hungry for, like, making something of myself. So, like,
that's
if I'm
that's why we're doing this.
and like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
and like I was speaking to a girl before Natalie, about, and we were seeing each other for a couple of months, and I broke it off because there was just nothing there. She was like, "Oh, I just want to work in retail for the rest of my life," and I was like, "Oh, okay. Do you not want to be a manager or anything?" She was like, "No," and I was like, "Yeah, nah, I'm done." It's not because you're not earning a lot at all. I just can't be with someone that's like, "Yeah, I'm good chilling." I can't deal
It's
that.
really, I find that
can't.
as time's gone on, it's really important to find someone, especially, a woman for me has to have some kind of intelligence. So, you
Yeah.
get some women that are completely brain dead to the world, and it's like, well, I've got no interest in you. There has to be, I want to have an interesting conversation. If you can't provide that, then whatever. Do you know what I mean? And then you have that, and as you said, yeah, but have ambition in life. Want to achieve something good and do something with your life. Don't be happy for some subpar life where you spend 30, 40 years working the same job, doing the same crap, earning crap money, and just going, oh well, this is life, I guess.
But again, if you want to do that, that is fine. If anyone wants,
course,
it is fine. But it's not for everyone. And if you're,
I think that's such a waste.
And if you're like that, then you probably will find that attractive in other people because that's what you're trying to do. So, yeah, it's just one of those things.
I think it's just a waste. Like, it's a waste. The most valuable thing you'll ever have in your life is not a ring, it's not a car, it's not a house.
It's time.
It's time. Time is the most valuable and most important thing you will ever have because you can't get it back, and it's a thing we lose constantly, and you never know how much you've got, and it's the most important thing ever. And I'm sorry if you don't spend your time right, or you just don't want. What's the point? You're here for, as you said, you're here for a good time, not a long time. Bloody just.
So
Make
I'm
the
not even
most
going to say.
out of
I'm
your
not. I
life.
ain't even going to say that story now.
But make the most of your life and just try and do as long as there's a step forward every day. As long as you're improving every day, that is the right direction. As I said, our new catchphrase: a millimeter a day is a centimeter a week.
Fucking love that. That's sick.
I want that printed on the shirt because it makes no sense. Of course it isn't, but it's great.
Anyway, yeah. So yeah, I don't know. I agree with what he said a few years ago. Not anymore. So I used to work at a pub, and the regulars were all guys, and their wives would come in during the day and just get drunk because they were using their husband's card, and that to me is the most pathetic. I don't know. That's not for me. And if you want to do that, that's fine. But you just look pathetic. Like, oh, like imagine having to go like, hey, can I have some money? I want to go shopping. I can't even imagine. Like, I don't know. If someone said that to me, I'd be like, no. I would turn around and go, oh, let's go shopping. I wouldn't. If someone came up to me and said, if my girlfriend, wife, whatever, came up to me and said, oh, can I have some money to go shopping? I'd be like, yeah. Are you working? Like, I'll take you shopping, but if you ask me for money, that's not how it works.
No, it's that thing. It's like
yeah, and like I'll take you out for dinner, but if we agree to go for dinner, then obviously like I'll pick up the check if it's like it's not a lot. But say we go out for dinner, for example, I went to dinner up the Shard, right? 2 people, the meal came to 280 quid for 2 people. It was my treat, so I picked up the check. But if we just decided to go up there, you can't expect one person, and I find that.
I think that's what I was going to say to you. Like, and sorry if Natalie's listening or she does listen to this. This is obviously no, but the question's completely hypothetical. If you weren't with Natalie, let's say, in 10 years' time, whatever, let's say, right, and let's say you were rich, you made loads and loads and loads of money, and you were single, but you're looking for a partner, you're looking for a girlfriend, you're looking for, you wanted to get married, whatever. How would you approach it? Because personally, and this is what I'm meaning, personally, I would go out my way to make sure that I didn't look rich or flash. Like people that drive around in Lamborghinis and stuff and picking up women, I'm like, the only women that you're going to pick up, mate, are gold diggers that want you for your money.
Yeah.
If you go out looking poor as shit and then find a woman that thinks, like, I genuinely, and I thought about this, I really, really thought if I was like a billionaire, I'd buy like a really shitty rundown apartment if it was in America, or a flat or a house.
Yeah.
So it was absolutely horrible, and take whatever woman I was dating back there for the first like couple of months to see if she was with me for me and not my money.
Yeah.
And then one day, oh yeah, by the way, let's jump on my yacht and you can quit your job. You
Yeah.
don't have to work another day.
Yeah.
Because then you know they're with you for you and not
Yeah.
with you for money. And I think that's such a hard thing to gauge, because at some point in your life, if you do get loads of money and you're single, you have to try and figure out a way to do it without.
That's the thing. I mean, well, there's the statistic. I can't remember the exact words. I'm not going to make a mug out of myself. But
Too late.
But yeah, well, too late for that. I have to do it for 22 years. Almost 23. I'm 23. I'm 23 this month. No, next month. Crazy. No.
It's Lawrence and Tom.
Yeah, no. March is the most popular month. What does it mean? When was you conceived if it's March?
9 months before. Well, it depends. Not everyone is 9 months before.
Fuck, I thought it was 12 months.
What would be June?
June.
Right?
Summer baby. What can I say?
Oh, May.
Oh, wait, no, I'm not summer baby. I was conceived in the summer. Fuck it. But yeah, no, anyway, so what was I saying? What were we talking about before? We were talking about me being conceived. What was it?
Yachts and gold diggers.
Yeah, so I can't remember the exact statistic.
Take my money.
Yeah, I can't remember the exact statistic, but it's something like something stupid, like 80%, for example, are have met their partner before they're 18 years old,
Which is crazy.
which is crazy and actually kind of true because, you know, I still talk to so many people from both boys and girls from from school. So, and I could plug up a message with a lot of people and say like, hey, how's it going? You want to go for a drink? And they're like, yeah, it's just like, let's have a catch up. Normally, if you make it famous, and well, that's the thing. You asked me if I had loads of money, how would I go about it? Do people know who I am? Because if people know who you are, that's when it gets tough. If people know who you are, you've got to go for someone who you knew before all of it.
Let's say YouTube, MAViSMITH takes off, right? MAViSMITH, we take off, we get millions of subscribers.
Millions of
Obviously,
views.
we split 50-50, but we still rake in, I don't know, how much does Logan Paul make a year? Like
Too many.
Like, let's say Logan Paul makes 20 million a year. Let's just say, I don't know, it's probably more than that, I think, but
Yeah.
let's just say roughly 20 million a year. So you split that in half, 10 million after tax. Let's say we both take home 5 mil each, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you're not famous. Obviously, he is because of everything that happened in the news. But if you don't watch YouTube, you wouldn't know.
Yeah.
So there's some people that would know you just by looking at you, and some that wouldn't.
Yeah.
So let's say that's a scenario. So you're not like an actor famous like Chris Pratt, and you're like, oh shit, that's Chris Pratt, and everyone knows who you are.
Yeah.
You're into me. You're YouTube famous. So you're not really famous. But do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, then it's a little easier. You can go to a pub, and then if people go, "Oh my god, that's so and so," then you've struck out. You need to move to a different pub. But like,
But what if they didn't tell you they knew? What if all along they knew, but they just didn't say anything?
that's just sneaky.
Gold diggers.
I don't think you could get married if you was rich. You'd have to get a prenup, unless you
I
with
don't
that.
think they're legally binding, are they, prenups? Because I think I'd get a prenup no matter what. Because
Yeah.
I've seen too many people that I know marrying. The divorce rate is phenomenal. I would never, ever, ever marry without a prenup. And if my girlfriend or fiance didn't like that, I would say, well, we're not getting married then. I'm sorry. Because there's no way in any way, shape or form, because marriages break up, people don't just stop loving each other after a while, and it happens a lot. There's no way that if I made good money that I would even remotely accept 50 of that 50% getting taken away. Jog on. It's a prenup happening.
If any of y'all, if any of y'all are marrying GFA, you're fucked up.
If I'm working hard my life, you ain't getting none of it.
But yeah, no. So yeah, okay. Should we move on? Because we can't forget that as well. Fuck off. This is crazy. This is I had to Google this to make sure that I wasn't being told of bullshit. There's a guy called Matt. I don't know how to spell his name. Matt. What's his name? Are you laughing at what Mel said?
I didn't see it. It just scrolled up.
Mel said that's how GFA and I are going to meet.
Yeah.
Well, she said that's how me and GFA, but I corrected her grammar for her.
Clayman said, "Who's Chris Pratt?"
I said a Pratt.
Yeah.
Why do you think celebrities marry each other? Moves, I think. Publicity moves. Well, a good 95% of them.
Not all the time.
Some people marry into people like.
I think because you've got to bear in mind, a lot of celebrities don't have time to go out and meet people because they're so busy, especially actors. Like, they don't get a lot of time to go to the bars and pubs because they're working most of the year and whatever, and then they're so business focused, they don't get a lot of time to relax. So the only times they really meet people are big celebrity events, like red carpet events. So then you'll find, and after parties, and then you'll find that people will meet after parties and hit it off, and then they'll start talking.
But then I look at so an artist I like, an artist we like is G-Eazy, and he's going out with Halsey at the moment, and Halsey and G-Eazy could have most likely have done it for publicity because he had an album coming out. She has an album coming out. They're now both going on tour. It kind of came at the right kind of time. So you could look at it that way. But then, of course, it could just be, you know, they actually do. And when you look at them, they do look like, you know, they really like each other and stuff like that. However, yeah, it does look like publicity stunts, and it does look like and you know, and in Housy's mind, she's going, well, she sees Jeezy for the first time, you know, and I'm a firm believer of if you see someone for the first time, you without knowing judge their looks. That's the first thing.
yeah.
First thing anyone does, and people say, oh, you know, you know, don't judge. You don't judge a book by its. You will. You unfortunately, that's just how the human brain works. You judge someone by the look, and then you start thinking about them. And if you bumped into Jennifer Lawrence, right? Woo!
Dreams come true.
Nah, the whole world's seen it. Don't care. So, so you bump into Scarlett Johansson. You bump into Scarlett Johansson.
Let's go back to Jennifer Lawrence.
Right, so you bump into Jennifer
Keep the
Lawrence.
dream alive.
You
Right.
bump into Jennifer Lawrence. You don't bump into her because that'd be sexual assault in this day and age. But you kind of look at her. She looks at you. She smiles at you and does that shitty thing and then looks away and like kind of thing, right?
Okay.
And then the first thing you think of, wow, she's really attractive. Second thing you think of, she's actually like really famous. You'll do that without knowing. She's actually like famous. Then you'll be like, okay, I'm going to go talk to her. Then you get to know her. She's really nice.
I know.
However, the one or second thing you think of, she's really famous. So Halsey would have looked at Jeezy and gone, well, he's kind of popping off. He's got an album coming out.
Yeah,
he's
well.
just had.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, that's the thing. But that's just what happens. And I think you've got to kind of judge what you're kind of looking at, really. That's all I've got to say on that as well. So have you got anything to kind of close on? Because I want to get onto this next bit. This is insane. I honestly I heard this on a podcast and I actually had to Google it to make sure that they weren't talking shit. There's a guy called Matt Lauer and he's a American television news anchor. He was the co-host of the NBC The Today Show. He's with the NBC from 1997 to now. Now he has been done for sexual misconduct. Alexa, fuck off. He got done for sexual misconduct, and he had a button called the rape button, and under his desk.
That's not very nice to say.
All right, so, is Matt Lauer listening? That's really weird.
Boy was right. The government are listening.
The government's listening. Did y'all hear? I don't know. I don't know if the mics picked that up. Did the mics pick that up? Alexa just turned around and said,
That's not a very nice thing.
yeah, that's not a very nice thing to say. All right, Matt, fuck up. Wait, that's me. Matt Lauer, fuck off. If you're listening to us, you're a piece of shit. So he has a button under his desk that he presses the button and it can lock the door and you can't open it without pressing that button again.
Right.
Why anyone would need that button is beyond me.
That would be a good thing in schools.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But in an office, like the fuck are you talking about in an office that in a news office that can't just be shut the door when that's what you're doing anyway. Locks the door from the inside, and then obviously anything can be done. There's no cameras or anything like that, so there's no evidence. He locks that door, and the door locks, and it can't be opened. That is insane. I find that I just find that that is insane.
But he probably sells it as a panic door. Like, you know, to make sure that if there was an terrorist attack, that's how he'd sell it to someone. If someone said, why have you got that button? Oh, well, you know, just in case there's a terrorist attack, press that, lock myself in, I'm safe. That's what he would sell it as, but really it's his bloody rape button. I can't believe he calls it a rape button. What a fucking piece of shit.
And like, there's an interview where he challenges a girl. A girl's saying something, and then he challenges her. I can't remember what he says. I'm just trying to find it. He challenges her, and he basically he kind of like tests her if she's going to say it or not. He kind of tests like, oh, it's something like, what did we do in the office the other day? He like tests her, and she goes, oh, well, we kind of just came up with some news stories to broadcast. That is what is a fucking that is a villain. That is an absolute villain. Like literally on live TV, challenging someone to she could make or break that right then.
Why didn't she? He's got to have something over her.
Well, a lot. The problem with Hollywood is a lot of the sexual misconduct that's going on is because people can just, you know,
people want to make it so badly.
People. So I was saying to GFA briefly before, there's a documentary about Bryan Singer, who is and I don't want to talk more on it because everyone who talks about it for some reason disappears off, like not disappears in real life, but their just content just never makes it. For example, I've just lost my complete train of thought. A woman, really good documentary. She won best documentary director, I think. Best director for a documentary. She won it, and then everyone was like, "This, she's going to be the next big thing." She released this Bryan Singer basically documentary about Hollywood after Harvey Weinstein came out, and it came out by Harvey Weinstein, and she just disappeared. There was nothing left, nothing at all. She has not released anything, and she said she's been blacklisted from everything. So, and people in Hollywood have that kind of power that they can just be like, no. So that's why Harvey Weinstein got away with so much. But that's crazy. I just wanted to touch on that briefly because I find that absolutely barbaric that he's got a button called the rape button. I find that insane.
It's mental. That is nothing short of just crazy shit.
I have another topic, and it is are titty streamers. So the IRL, because we normally stream on Twitch. I thought this was a good topic. Are Twitch streamers who have their fucking tits out on stream, are they prostitutes? And
no.
what are they doing? They're selling their body basically for tips. That's
So,
prostitution.
by definition, I would agree that is what prostitution is. However, they're not really selling their body, but what they're doing is very intelligently capitalizing on the video gaming community, which is usually quite a secluded, nerdy, sort of like lonely community where people don't get out much. They just sit there and play games, and they're the kind of people that comment on porn videos like, "Oh yeah, I'll give her one from me, boy."
I want to do a video of going through Pornhub comments.
There's a
Twitter account that got shut down because they were taking comments from videos and like saying them, and their account got taken down.
So there was I've seen. Did you see the one where it's the comment was that guy from Fallout 4, and he goes, "Quickly, there's a sediment that needs your help." It's so fucking funny. There's great. The comments are great, but they're the kind of people like that. He's obviously a video gamer. He plays Fallout, and then he's made an account and he's going onto these porn videos to write that comment.
Yeah,
that's the community that they're relating to. So naturally, what they're doing is they've realised that, okay, well, if I've got a nice body, people will subscribe and pay money to me because they feel like this, like, connecting with me. It's the same as Jessica Negri, and I hate saying it because she's really, really talented. Jessica Negri. She builds these fantastic costumes from scratch. She does it all herself. She's really a fantastic artist. But because she has these massive breasts and really nice body and a really pretty face with all the makeup on or whatever, and her character, she's really outgoing and sort of chirpy. She can basically take pictures in skimpy outfits, like cosplay skimpy outfits with like a tiny bra and nipple tassels or whatever on Instagram, and get millions and millions of likes and views and followers and stuff, which then she gets like deals with, like advertising deals. And that's what happens. They're capitalizing on having a nice body and using it to sort of extort the gaming community, because a lot of them are quite sort of, as I said, secluded.
See, I'm not convinced on either way yet. I haven't really made up my mind. I wanted to see what you thought and if anyone else was here. But
I think the ones with the cameras where they play a game but their webcam's bigger than the game in the background, that's stupid, because that you're playing a game. The idea is to have the game footage and then your little webcam.
Well, they came up with new guidelines, and they actually gave you like an image of what's okay and what's not okay. But I think personally, bottom line is, is I think there's some element, because they are practically selling their body for tips and subs and stuff like that. In my honest opinion, that is how I view it, because they do have their body out, and that but obviously because guidelines they can't anymore, but they do have their body out and they are getting money from it. So technically,
women always do better on things like that. Even if they were like, as long as they have a pretty face, they're winning.
That's what Gary Vee, he's a really popular like motivational speaker, and he says in one of his videos, if he was a girl, he'd be on Instagram posting pictures, selfies every day. He'd be on Twitch doing what they're doing now. He'd be on YouTube. He'd be doing all that because it's the easiest way to get money, and it is easy, babe, because there are people in the world like that. Yeah, exactly. And he was like, I want to say I wouldn't do it, but I don't know
If
because
they're so,
yeah,
that is so intelligent. If I had,
Yeah,
if
that's-
I was a woman and I had a good body and a pretty face, I would quit my job and do Twitch streaming tomorrow
Yeah.
because you will 100%
Yeah.
take off. It won't take long.
like
at all.
if you go on and watch, like I've actually sat and watched a few for research. Sat and watched a few of them, and they're just fucking boring.
Just a disclaimer: I'm not saying that women streamers are only good at
No.
being good looking and having breasts and stuff.
The Mav
they
show,
are entertaining as well.
I found out
but
about
I'm just saying,
a streamer
mean,
called
usually-
the Mav Show because I typed in like
Mav.
I typed in Mav into Instagram and came up with the Mav Show, and there's actually a Twitch streamer called the Mav Show. She's a girl and she streams like PUBG and all that stuff. She's really entertaining, and I followed her.
What's that? Cray Sounds. Cray Sounds, the one
Yeah.
that the doc slept with.
Well,
allegedly.
apparently it's not anymore. Yeah, apparently.
Yeah, I'm not sure who it was, or whatever. But I think
Well,
the
there's a
only
few actually.
The only reason I think it was her is because she went completely silent on all social media, Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, and everything
She
for like 2 or
replied to
3
that.
weeks after that.
She said she didn't want to add fire to the witch hunt.
Okay. Well,
But yeah,
anyway,
so yeah.
if it is her, or if it wasn't her, whatever, I'm not going to try and make the allegations bigger than they are. But if it is Cray Sounds, whatever. But I went back and watched her streams to figure out to find out who she was. And what I found is she's really talented. She does the radio she's called Cray Sounds. She does DJing,
Yeah,
and she's actually really interesting to watch because she does a lot of live on
Like
you-
live, mixing,
live
yeah.
mixing stuff, and she doesn't she never has like skimpy clothes or anything like that. But she's quite attractive anyway. But she wears like and that's what I mean. Like she's a good streamer. She's funny to watch. She's an entertainer, and she's not doing it just as shit like booby streamers. But you have some of them are, some of them aren't. It's
yeah.
but I think it's the
Okay.
same with you can get the same with blokes. But the thing is with men is. So there's that line. Men can't take their tops off on stream, right? That's against Twitch rules. They'll just ban straight away. So people with like.
But I've seen people
six-packs and
playing
stuff,
with like
not allowed to anymore.
yeah. But like I remember watching a video of a guy streaming and he had his top off. And he
Yeah.
was really fat and he was just sitting there. Like, it was really funny.
Incredible.
All right, so okay, so we don't really have an answer on that. I'm not convinced either way. I'm a little bit like, oh well, it's whatever. I don't think that I agree with you. If their webcam is taking up the game, we're not there on Twitch to watch people. It's
Some
not
people
some
are, but
soft.
no.
Well, yeah, no, but I'm not going on the fucking Fortnite channel and watching a girl this big and then a game this big, like. Anyway, so all right, I'll get rid of this. This is awesome, right? Elon Musk has created a way to go from New York to London in how long?
2 hours,
Less.
hour and a half.
Less.
Fuck off. Hour.
Less.
Fuck off. Half an hour.
25 minutes.
No, fuck off.
25 minutes,
Nah.
New York City to London, and it costs the same price as an economy flight.
Suck a dick. No, what? In one of his Teslas, he launches us
Yeah.
into space.
Elon is not, and I agree with what I think it was Clayman said. Elon is an alien. He is not real.
He's just. I know how it works because they were talking about doing this age ago. NASA were talking about doing it where they launch you in. They basically put you into outside the atmosphere because there's no wind resistance and you can go like ridiculous speeds and then just decelerate slowly and you can be there before you know it. Because that was already a plan to do trips like that. I'm guessing the way he's doing it is just like how his NASA missiles work, where they launch rocket things, where they launch into like the stratosphere or whatever, and then just self land. But I don't know how safe I feel doing it.
27,000 kilometers per hour.
Yes,
16,777 miles per hour.
The thing is, speed, as Jeremy Clarkson has rightfully said, speed has never killed anyway. It's the sudden stopping. It's never killed anyone. It's the sudden stopping that kills you. Technically, a human body can travel at any speed as long as it doesn't accelerate or decelerate too quickly.
So it's called the BFR. What do you reckon BFR stands for?
BFR.
Big fucking rocket.
Nice, yeah. I knew it'd be fucking.
Yeah.
always
And it can go to Hong Kong to Singapore in 22 minutes, New York to London in 29 minutes, and Sydney to London in 51 minutes. Holy shit. It is insane. BFR is capable of transporting satellites to orbit, crew, and cargo to the space station and complete missions to the moon and Mars.
I don't think that he'll be able to charge economy tickets for it. I just don't see that's possible.
Well, he said it, and
I don't believe
most of the things all the things he said's come true.
I know, but what I'm saying is so they would have to build a vessel big enough to contain that many passengers to make that a viable option.
Well,
There's
they're
no way you can
reusable
travel
rockets as well.
Yeah, but you can't have just one person per rocket because you could
It would take 3 hours to queue up.
Yeah, exactly. Well, longer than that, you'd have to book like a month in advance
Yeah.
or 2 months. Yeah, they'd have to do it and to have that many people on one small rocket or whatever size it is, and to travel that fast, and and the amount of fuel that
Can you?
each kilogram of weight to get into space costs something like $1 million or something per kilogram or something ridiculous of weight. And an average human is what, well, in America it's like 100 kilos, but over here it's what, like 70, 80
But can
kilos.
you imagine in like 10 years when our kids are getting on like rockets and going to Sydney in an hour?
I'd be so jealous.
And we're saying, well, we sat on it takes 24 hours from here to get to Sydney.
That's the one thing I'll be sad about when I grow old is I won't get to see how technology goes. That's the only thing. The rest of the world, I don't give a shit. I want to see us land on another planet. I want to see us colonize another planet and move off of Earth. I don't think I'm ever going to see that in my lifetime, and that's probably the thing I sort of find the saddest, really.
Yeah.
Should we do Heroes Quest?
Yes. I've got a few more things, but nothing I can do all that next
Well,
week.
how much time you got?
I've got max quarter of an hour.
So have you got any topics you can fit in? This only take 5 minutes, so...
Okay. Well, this is just one that I want to talk about because it's absolutely incredible. So do you know who Amanda Cerny is?
No.
I send her pictures to you quite a lot. Not the...
Oh, yeah.
Amanda Cerny, she was a Viner.
Yeah.
And she does like what she thinks is funny videos, which they're not. It's who PewDiePie roasts.
Yeah.
So she did a face mask. You know what a face mask is? Yeah. Did a face mask, took the face mask off. It was used, chucked it up on eBay. Right. How much do you reckon that went for before it got taken down on eBay?
Same thing as extorting weirdos. This is the same thing. The same people that watch Mel's video of her being tickled. That 100.
But can you imagine if it? First of all, can you imagine if it was the other way around? Blasphemy.
If
anyway,
I did it, I'd have to pay them to take it off me.
Yeah. Please buy my. I'll pay you to take my mask. How much do you reckon she sold her mask for? A used face
How
mask.
popular is she really? Like fame wise? No, just fame wise, roughly.
Oh, very well.
Because I've never heard of her. She's not that big. She's not like
she's not like a movie star. I mean,
so is she like popular YouTuber like PewDiePie level? Not even PewDiePie. She's more like
she's got
level.
20 million followers on Instagram.
Yeah. So
she
like
gets about 1.5 million on Instagram. Okay. She gets about 5 million in views.
My guess will be, I reckon it went for $220,000.
No. Okay, is
that way over top?
£100,000 for a used face mask.
£100,000 is still like $180,000, $150,000. Yeah,
£100,000 for a fucking face mask. Then she thought, this is great. Bless her though, she was donating all of it to charity, so she won't keep it for herself.
Do one of your arse and set it for a couple of million. Come on now, let's make some money for charity.
I'm paying. MAViSMITH pays. No, and then she sold her 2012 MacBook for over £10,000. 2012 MacBook.
I mean, that doesn't make sense.
Called Amanda Cerny's MacBook.
What makes it special?
And a Dior iPhone case for over 13,000. You can buy the fucking case on Dior for like 600 quid or whatever.
There's weird, pathetic people in the world that have more money than sense, and that's
yeah, I find it incredible. I mean, she was donating it all to charity, bless her. But on her Instagram,
she's doing it for good cause.
On her Instagram, she did go, "What you've all been waiting for," and then said she was going to do a bra, but then eBay took it down, and in their guidelines it does actually say, which is hilarious, it does say you cannot sell used face masks. Like it does say those exact words, you cannot sell used face masks. I think that's great. The fact that someone's actually had to sit there, like however crap your job is, you just got to imagine someone had to sit there and type in, you cannot sell used face masks.
There is some pervert who has a lot of money that is hoping that one day cloning will be a thing and he'll be able to afford it. So he has her DNA in that face mask. That's what it is.
That's probably what it is. All right, should we get on with Heroes Quest? Because the other thing was just Tokyo is a rapper. We listened to him a little bit before the podcast started. He's under the same management as Chance, which is by Pat. And it shows as well. Like his is quite inspired. However, he drops his album from space. He went 100,000 feet into space and dropped his latest album. And this is the first thing he said. So, and the person said, "How are you feeling? You've had a pretty momentous 24 hours." And he said, "Unstoppable. Like literally, I'm driving through LA right now, and I feel like this city don't got shit on me. I just feel like I've unlocked new potential in my whole brain with the way I'm thinking." I find that insane that he actually did that.
That's cool. That's a cool way to do it. Respect.
Yeah.
I love science and space and shit. That's awesome.
But can you imagine listening to music? Imagine listening to music like in space, looking back at Earth.
Well, that's
if you could listen to one song in space, what would it be? If you could literally put yourself into space for 3 minutes and you could look back on Earth, what song would you play?
I think Elon Musk did it perfectly. David Bowie style, man. Perfect. The fact that he had that in the car playing is that it was floating, and you had the little guy in the seat, and you just had A starman waiting. I thought that was quality.
Yeah.
That is that sends chills down my spine. Imagining that song with a Tesla just rotating in space on its way to
Yeah.
Mars and having that song playing just sends like chills down your spine. It's so like inspiring, fucking awesome. And obviously, David Bowie would have loved that. Rest his soul.
Yeah. All right. So should we carry on to Hero's
Yeah, yeah.
Quest? What are we on? What are we
Chapter
on?
7. Read the end of chapter 6. Or is it chapter 8 now? Actually, something strange in Skippy Town. Look at it.
Okay. Right.
Read the end of chapter 6 though, just so people can catch up.
okay,
Last
so-
paragraph.
With fury in my heart, you play music.
But on
Oh,
the
yeah.
next chapter.
Okay, so this is how chapter 6 ended. For any newcomers, we read through this book called Hero's Quest, which is what GFA writes every week. It started off as a book he wrote when he was much younger.
8 years old.
8 years old.
I did
and-
4 chapters.
And then he's carrying on it, writing in the same style as well. So we're going to carry on reading this book. This is how chapter 6 ended. I wasn't sure where to start, but then I remembered what it said.
Skippity dippity doo.
I headed for Skippity Town to find out some answers about this Purple Who.
Now, what's the chapter 7 called?
Something strange in Skippity Town. Okay, cue the music. Mic check. 1 2 1 2. I walked for what felt like 24/7 minutes. I walked for what felt like 247 minutes before coming across any sign of life. A swamp with a small onion-shaped shack placed in the middle. I noticed smoke bellowing from the chimney and couldn't believe my luck. I trudged across the treacherous landscape when suddenly an ear-deafening screech came from behind me in the forest. Oh, hello there! I turned to see a pair of big green eyes staring at me from the darkness. I panicked and began sprinting as fast as I could. I saw the creature bolt from the tree line at 19 meters per second. Get out of my swamp, the creature shouted. It was at this point that I noticed the creature was completely naked, with abnormally large testicles clanging from side to side, slapping his legs like bongos. All of a sudden, he tripped on one of the grotesque beasts and fell face first into the swamp water. They dragged him down and down, further and further. He never emerged.
Drowned by his own balls.
So, this is the picture that I've got. Oh. So they explain what they're seeing, George?
That is basically my rendition of Shrek. Well, he's an ogre, obviously in an onion-shaped house, chasing Mike with his massive, grotesque testicles that he tripped over and drowned himself in the swamp. And that's it. And that's yeah.
Now that's what you got, ladies and gentlemen. I raided the shack for supplies and continued on my journey to Skippity Town. Oh, I lost the page. I crested the top of the mountain at 2,375 feet and looked down to a beautiful sight. There, in front of me, was Skippity Town. But something wasn't right. There was no sign of movement, no lights, people, or playful jazz flute music. I began my descent to investigate. That's him there.
Cresting over Skippity Town below. On top of the mountain.
I think I have to tune in for next week. Oh, do we have the title for the episode?
We don't yet, we don't. Chapter 8 is untitled as of right now.
Untitled. You have to tune in for next time. That's been Hero's Quest as well. Okay. Did I wander into a Shrek fanfic, says Boyle? You did, for one episode.
But he drowned in his own balls.
But he drowned because of his own testicles. Cool. So, yeah, sorry about it being quite a short podcast. I've skipped over so many topics because obviously Twitch decided to rip.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I mean, we're going to stream on Twitch, but we might also stream on YouTube. We don't know. We got to work a few things out as well. Anyway, so anything else you want to say before we call it?
No, I think we've touched on majority of stuff. Try and get some more topics for next week. Hopefully, we have another person sitting right here next week. Our executive producer bailed on us, so
Because he's knackered.
So yeah, he's tired.
He's
tired boy.
been doing a lot of work for us, so he's
Yeah.
kind of works him to the bone.
Wednesday, yes, we will be playing DDLC, whatever it's called, 100%, because you guys really will keep requesting that, so we will play that. And we will be playing, we will be playing Jackbox as well. So if you're a SoundCloud or iTunes listener, please check out our Twitch channel and our YouTube channel, and come and join the community and come watch us play some games on Wednesday night, same time, 8:30 p.m.
Yeah, we're also thinking about doing a stream tomorrow as well. We're thinking about doing it because GFA and I, the problem we've got is we don't really play games together anymore. I mean, we played Modern Warfare 2 the other night for about 2 hours.
Yeah,
that was really fun, and
it's more than 2 hours. Because Matt, I said I need to go to bed, Matt. I need to be up at 6. It was 2:30 in the morning. One more game.
It was 11:30, and I somehow persuaded him to stay until 1:30.
Yeah.
Is it 1:30?
No, it's 2:30.
Oh.
Because it was we were joining sub base, and you were like, it's 2:30. Come on, bro. Let's just do it. I was like,
oh yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, no. So we don't really get to play games together. So we're gonna because obviously Monday we do podcasts. Tuesday is normally kind of just a chilled day, and then Wednesday is obviously plays. So we sit there playing, whatever, and then obviously Thursday's kind of chills. Friday, obviously, we've got some stuff going on, or we'll be doing a stream, and then same Saturday. And then obviously we're planning our YouTube stuff, thinking of ideas. So we don't always.
It takes a lot of time.
We don't always have a lot of things to do. So we don't really get time to sit there and just play a game together, like play like PUBG and actually play together rather than take it in turns, like what we do on Wednesday. We can't play games like 7 Days to Die and Modern Warfare 2. We can't play together. So we're so we're gonna.
Well, what day would you like to see us play? Like, if let's say Monday and Wednesdays are always set in stone. Podcasts and plays on Wednesdays, and then we do other random streams where we try and get a Saturday where we can do it, or a Friday night because we know loads of people have that time to do it on an evening. What other day during the week would you like to see us do? A Tuesday? Would you like to see us do a Thursday? What would you like, you personally, with your schedules and being our fans and our listeners, viewers? What would you like to see us do?
Yeah,
because we obviously want to try and work it around you guys. And I know we've got so much other stuff going on in life, and we really need to buckle down on our YouTube content. So we need to have a day of planning as well. So we can't always stream. So we need to try and work out a good schedule that works for you as well as us. So why don't you let us know what day would work for you guys, and then we'll try and arrange it. Because if we do try and do tomorrow or Thursday, then at least we have an idea of what works better for you guys.
Yeah. I feel like we'll keep it tomorrow, I think, for this week, and then we'll decide. So obviously we want to do a lot of YouTube stuff, and maybe streaming on YouTube is something that we need to really look forward to kind of doing. One of our viewers just said, by the way, I'm such a dumbass. I was waiting here for the podcast, and only when it was 20:40 here, I understood that it was 7:40 where you live. You were still late though. We were late, but that was we try and aim for 8 o'clock, but I for some reason slept all day. So I have no excuse. That was my bad. So that's why we're a bit late. We do try and start at 8 so that we can, if we finish early, we finish early, but it's normally 7:30 but by the time we get everything.
Yeah.
You'd think we're on podcast number 28, we'd get everything sorted, but we have got a couple of plans in the pipeline to where we can just have our podcast set up so we just come here and whatever. But tomorrow, or whenever we do it, we're going to be doing it so that GFA will most likely, because he's got a lot better internet than me. I've got fourth world country in internet. GFA will probably stream, and then he'll put me on a camera recording on the bottom right.
We've got to figure out logistics.
Yeah, sure. So that we can kind of see how it's going, kind of thing as well. So yeah. Thanks for tuning into podcast number 28. It's been an absolute pleasure.
And what do you think of the merch? Let us know.
Oh yeah.
Well, let us know what you think about this.
What do you think of my old hat, my used pre-owned hat?
You can get it in all the different colours. It doesn't have to come in this colour scheme. It can be whatever.
Like
but the little logo, or should we put our own? Because this is just from the website. Should we put our own custom logo? What do you think? Let us know what you think.
Yeah. And of course, follow us on Instagram to keep up with everything that we're doing. That's how we kind of update what we're doing. So if you follow us on Instagram, you'll see that we update, we're running 10 minutes late. Or
and Twitter, to be fair.
And Twitter, yeah.
We don't really update a lot. It's Facebook. We put our videos on there, but we don't put a lot of posts on there.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like Twitter and Instagram are the way forward. I'm waiting for something to come out where everything's on it. Instagram, something like Instagram, something like Facebook, something like Twitter, all in one. Anyway, but yeah, so follow us on Instagram. That's where we kind of keep up with everything, and we kind of make sure that everything's going on and everything's working as well. We kind of we'll tell you if we're running late. We'll tell you if we're doing this. But yeah, make sure you check out our YouTube as well to watch out some of our videos. We've got some funny videos to film. We're just a bit stuck because of time and getting people in and as well.
Yeah, It's hard to get people. It's hard to get actors. That's the
Yeah,
hard
that's the problem. Is I mean, GFA and I can only put on so many costumes
thing. Yeah.
as
And
seen
and hold
by the
camera
the Meet Alice.
and do the camera and the boom and everything. It's,
Yeah.
And the light. It's hard.
Anyway, this is MAViSMITH signing off. From Matt.
Wait, what? From George.
Yeah.
This has been
And together we're MAViSMITH. Do you remember who did that? But yeah,
behind the scenes.
thanks for watching. Have a good week. If you live in England, be careful because of the snow. Drive carefully.
Yeah, be safe.
Well, to be fair, if you live anywhere else, drive carefully. Just I know it's snowing.
Yeah, in America.
Yeah, in America, drive however you fucking want. No, but obviously it's quite dangerous here. Is it still? I wonder if it's still, probably
It's
still snowing.
snowing. Yeah, bad.
All right, ciao, guys.
Have a good week. Podcast 28. MAViSMITH out. That's the perfect time. Now the mics go down nice and slow. We've never done this
Nice
on
and
YouTube.
slow.
We can't roll the credits. I hate. We need to figure out if it's streaming.